Hello YouTube, welcome to the Fun Facts channel. Say, what's the only thing that no one has any control of? Well, it's time. So today we will be talking about the almighty time. To be precise, we will talk about something that measures it, or clocks. So let's not waste any more time and start off with number 1. The most common clocks found in everybody's household are the pendulum clocks, classy, stylish and technologically advanced at the same time. First one was invented in the year 1656 by famous Dutch physicist Christian Huygens, whom you know and don't love from his Huygens principle and wave theory of light. The most interesting thing about this is that with the invention of the first pendulum clock that you see here, Huygens was able to reduce the drastic deviation from 15 minutes a day to a mere 15 seconds in a day. Well, we can say that Huygens was a time saver. Now, assuming that you don't mind my bad jokes, let's move on to number 2. It'll be a waste of time if I didn't talk about what that is probably the most famous clock out there. Yes, the Big Ben. Well, here's the thing. The clock itself is not called the Big Ben. Shocked? Yep, true as it is. The Big Ben is the name of the largest of the 5 bells that hang within the clock, not the main clock, which is the tourist attraction. So there you have it. Now let's move on to number 3. A Swedish man named Carl von Linné, also known as Carolus Linnaeus, proposed a flower clock based on the characteristic times of petal openings and closings for various species of flowers. If such a clock was built out in your garden, it would be possible to tell the time of the day just by looking out the window. Ain't that great? Clocking in at number 4 is another one about the Big Ben. Do you know how tall is the Big Ben? Well, it's 96 meters tall. So yeah, don't even think about comparing it to your Bona. And it's alright to imagine that humongous weights must be used to keep the Big Ben from losing or gaining time depending on the climate. But the truth is far from expected. The Big Ben uses only pennies to adjust its time, and it takes only about 3 of them to alter the time by over 1 second in a day. So yeah, the small things do matter, like your Bona. Oh, don't feel bad, because number 5, it's here. It's a well-known fact that the Earth is rotating, and that too at a speed of 1040 miles per hour, and yet I get pulled over for doing a little over 50. Anyway, the Earth's rotation is not regular, so to compensate this, some digital clocks essentially strike 23 hours 59 minutes and 60 seconds, creating a 61-second minute. Though it's a very rare thing, and no, your smartphone doesn't do that. Let's move on to number 6. Take a look at the time in your smartphone. Where do you think it comes from? Well, obviously the internet, but where do you think the internet time comes from? Well, you should thank the NIST F1 atomic clock. This is the clock located in Colorado, which is used for the internet time. This one is so accurate that it won't lose or gain even a single second in the next 20 million years. So yeah, you should not argue with the internet time. Now let's move on to number 7. There's this artist named Siren Elise Wilhelmsen. Wow, that's a mouthful. Well, she designed a clock that knits a scarf every year. So now before you start overthinking about what you have accomplished, let's move on to number 8. Let's talk something about our biological clocks. Well, researchers say that 1 week of camping without electronics, yeah, that includes your smartphone too, resets our biological body clock. It synchronizes our melatonin hormones with sunrise and sunset. So that will help if you have a fucked up routine. Now before you run out in the woods, let's move on to number 9. You might have noticed that sometimes when you look at the clock, the second hand seems to freeze momentarily. No, you don't have any time manipulating powers. It's just your brain fucking with you. This is an effect called chronostasis and it's pretty common. So no, you're not the chosen one. Deal with it. Let's move on to number 10. Before the invention of alarm clocks, there was a profession called the knocker-upper. The knocker-upper's job was to keep knocking on your door until you woke up. So yeah, he was kind of the most annoying guy in the past. Okay guys, thank you for watching. If you like the wait, say what? Do you want me to complete that clock I was making? Well okay then, here we go. Number 11. What do you do when someone asks you the time? Well, obviously you tell them the current time, but again you use the suffix o'clock. Ever wondered what does it means? Well, the word o'clock means stroke of the clock and it comes from 15th century medieval mechanical clocks. So yeah, it's pretty old. Now finally, let's complete our clock with fact number 12. In the year 2007, a cultural guerrilla group named Untergrunter entered the French Pantheon and spent a year fixing its antique clock. When the building administrator found out, he was legit pissed off and tried to hire workers to break it again. What an asshole. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching the video. If you liked it, hit thumbs up and do subscribe for more. S signing off.